Await no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I'm your host, Joseph, and alongside me, as always, the greatest co-host that ever is or ever will be, Kyle Stevenson. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing great, Joe. How are you? It's almost like we did this last night, and here we are again.
Right, but this time we're live on Twitch.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/Sean Capri. Why am I saying that? Because you should need to go to that channel right now and click follow, because Sean is helping us out really so much. We recorded last night. It was not up to snuff, so we're recording it today, all thanks to Sean's beautiful Canadian computer and Canadian Sean Capri. How are you, buddy?
Guys, don't mind me. I'm not allowed to talk to the chat. We're doing a live to tape recording, but live in front of a studio audience, so we're not allowed to engage. This is actually probably what it's like to record like a sitcom where people are laughing. You gotta wait for them to laugh, but you can't give them like a knowing nod. You gotta stay in character. That's what we're doing tonight. But before we get into any of that, I want to say hi, Tammy. Tammy's here, so hi, Tammy. That's it. I'm done. Guys, leave me alone. Don't yell at me. Yell at me.
I feel like Ricky Bobby. Like I don't know what to do with my hands.
Exactly.
Car ran real good.
Guys, we have a ton of news. We got Gamescom. We've got Life is Strange. We have Don't Nod. I mean, we have so many things to talk about. And I know Don't Nod, they're the makers. Trust me, just go into it. But before we go into the news and before we talk about what we've been playing, I first have to thank the Make Us Better community over at patreon.com/Make Us Better, where you make us better week in, week out. And our thanks goes to first our platinum producers, Corey Hicks over at twitch.tv/chicks_18. It's not what you think, but it's equally as amazing. Mr. Mark Moody at youtube.com/outoflives. Our golden executive producers, Mike BC, Panache Malloy, executive producer Steven Aifiete. Did I say it right?
I afraid.
You know what? I'm just gonna pronounce things right.
I gotcha.
Joey Splats, Carol Underwood, Dante Bellini Jr., Jared Guthart,
Go GA.
Okay, so here's the deal. My friend, he spells it the same exact way. It's Guthart.
There's no way that's true. Where is it? There's no T at the end or anything. Please continue. I'm sorry. Don't mind me.
Kevin Austin, Joshua Bloodborne, Tammy Ryan, Robbie Bobby Miller, Tim Ulf, Martini Jean, David Ray, Jesse Armstrong. There you go, Sean. Are you happy? You make fun of me on my own.
Please
podcast.
Ignore me. Look, I'm barely here, man. You guys just do your thing. I'm gonna fire up Diablo or Morphe's Law or something, and then I'll be typing away with the chat. You guys talk about your PlayStation stuff.
No, you're joining in.
Oh, I'm on the podcast. Okay, sweet. Okay.
Yeah, you're here with us, all right?
Thanks for having me. I wasn't expecting. I'm just kidding. It's just a little stick. I'm just goofing with you guys. I just want to give you guys a chocolate chip cookie smile or whatever Luke Lore called it on the Xbox Drive today.
Get out of here, Sean. You're uninvited.
Okay, bye.
No,
Hi,
I want to ask you, Sean, what have you been playing? Limit it to one game. You can only talk about one game.
Kingdom Hearts, the first Kingdom Hearts. I'm finally playing Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation Entertainment System, the PlayStation Quadruple, is that? I can't remember. You clarified this yesterday. Yeah. Quadruple, yeah. I am enjoying it, man. I'm playing a lot of games right now. So you said limited to one. This is the one. I got over that first hour and a half or so where you're kind of like, what is even going on? I'm racing this guy, but the race doesn't matter or anything. And then a door appears in a cave. I met Goofy and all these things. I'm having a great time. I was not expecting so much Disney. I thought it was going to be mostly Final Fantasy with a sprinkle of Disney, and I'm really liking it, man. So
it's the total opposite. It's a whole lot of Disney, a little bit of Final Fantasy.
Good, because I want some Disney in my life. So yes, I think by popular demand, people wanted me to play this, and also I kind of got sick and tired of people coming in and going my favorite game of all time is Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, I have no idea what the shit you're talking about. So I gotta experience it, guys.
Yeah, no, I get it. It is an experience. I played through 1. I played through 2. I just don't have the same love for Kingdom Hearts as some other people. I respect it. I think it's great, but it doesn't have the same lasting appeal that it. Because I'm like, it's 10 plus years, But there's some cool parts. So trust me, it's amazing. How about you, Kyle? What have you been playing?
Well, since last night while we were recording, Guacamelee 2 was downloading. So
Oh,
when I got home
boy.
from work today, I've been playing Guacamelee 2, it's like nonstop, and boy oh boy, it's everything I loved about the first game, ramped up, and better than ever. It's fantastic. It's the platforming is tough but rewarding once you get through it. The humor is excellent. I feel like if you want to look at the trophy list, Joe, I think you would just love the game based off the trophies.
Because
There-
it's just one playthrough, and I don't have to bash
Well,
my head against the
no,
wall.
there might be two, but I just mean that the titles of the trophies. Like, there's one where, like, you have to open up a loot box, and oh my god, now I'm blanking on the title of it, but it had something to do with like, idiots will do anything, like they'll buy anything type of thing.
Oh,
So it's
shit,
like
I
kind
it.
of like Deadpool level.
Yeah.
Kind of
Self-referential type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Right.
it's fantastic. I'm already in the second temple.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it and hopefully platinum it very soon.
I've been playing a little game called Dead Cells. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's got me, man. There's
If
no
only it got some
game-
press, man. It's just too bad that nobody's even heard of
Right?
this game. Completely flew under the radar.
Dude, it really is. And I finally last night I felt relief because I finally beat the first boss, the concierge, and I felt so rewarded. I felt like I achieved something after hours of bashing my head against the wall. I finally beat the boss, and I felt so good that the game finally clicked. And when I mean clicked, not like I was enjoying it, but more than like I understood the logic of it, of what I needed to do and how I should unlock things and where I should go from platform to platform. So I'm really liking it. It's clicking with me on all levels, and I can't play anything else. It's just that freaking good. Like today, I went back to the concierge and I just gave him a couple more slaps. I was just like, no, you know what? You got about a few more, and it was just like easy at that point because I understood how the boss worked, and it just made me feel real good about myself. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I felt real good. So
Nice,
that's
man.
what I've been playing. Yeah, it's nothing serious. I'm real good at video games.
Well, how about
And
that?
with that, you know Gamescom happened, or it's happening. It's in Germany. It's Europe's equivalent of E3. You guys know that, or somewhat like it? It's huge convention.
Yeah.
Ever heard of it?
Heard of it?
Okay, I was looking for a little bit more than that, but fine. Gamescom. Listen, I'm gonna throw a little shade at
That's
it.
when that's when it happens. When that, okay, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because I just put my freaking foot on the gas pedal. I drove right through this trophy room. I hit all the kids on my way over here. All the things that you say that I say. I can't even keep track of all the bad instructions that make Kyle just like, no.
Herds
No,
of kids.
every
You're going
time.
through herds.
Yep. Yeah, I did it all. I'm here. I'm in the trophy room. I can't believe I did the Xbox drive earlier today. Hi, Luke Lore. Bow. Everybody kind of has their own, like, because you kind of do like a boing almost to it. Anyway,
Yeah.
continue. Gamescom, Xbox. Do you want to chat about this?
Dude,
I'm here on the
yeah,
trophy room.
so here I am trying to give Xbox a chance, right? And last year's Gamescom I thought was fine. That's where they revealed the Scorpio edition and the price and all that, whatever. And it was like a 30-minute show. It was nice. It wasn't drawn out. And I felt with this one, it was like 2.5 hours long, and it was a chore to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it took all my energy to reach the end. And I just have to ask the question, what is it like to be an Xbox fan? Is it about the small victories?
I think you should remember what it's like to be an Xbox fan right about now. Like the PlayStation 3 generation, lasted a long time, man. So you guys took your licking for quite a while, and there was so much that was similar: missed messaging, bad launches, a whole bunch of stuff that had to be turned around. So like we'll kind of leave it at that. We've all made our mistakes, but certainly like this. I talked to Luke Laura on the Xbox Drive about this earlier today, and here's the thing. I think I give a lot of credit to Nintendo and to Sony for having been around the block a few times. They've landed on their attitude, their image, their brand.
Yeah.
I feel like Xbox hasn't quite found the voice yet, or if they have found it, it's kind of like fake polished. It's like the money is there and the sheen is there for Xbox to do its thing, but like they don't have an attitude. Like Sony's got a bit of confidence. Yeah, it can maybe look a little bit like arrogance every once in a while, and Nintendo's got whimsy and fun and everything like that. But I just genuinely feel for the most part that, like, especially in this instance with Gamescom, they just felt a little lost to me, man. Just like, oh, is this what you want? Is this good? Like, it's kind of like that insecure girlfriend who's like, or boyfriend. Do you love me? Like, is that good? Is this good? Like, just stop asking me. Just know it. Just own it. And I feel like they're making really strong decisions that are pleasing people, but they're still like, do you want 20 minutes of PUBG? Like, we're not really sure. Like, come on, man. Just grab the back of my hair and just, like, give it to me. You know what I mean?
Oh, John,
got excited. Woo.
But yeah, no, seriously, you know, I understand what you mean. Like, there were so many things that could have been taken out and just, or even just reduced the time of. There's just a lot of fluff, and it was kind of like, you know, the Sony press conference with E3. The games I saw, I really liked, and I just didn't understand why I came out so negative on it. I just thought that this didn't need to exist. None of it really needed to.
Well,
exist.
not in the way that it did exist. It needed to be. They needed to be there. Like, I think it's important for them to be there, but absolutely. Not like this. Not like this.
It was like what Sean was saying earlier. Like, this year for Sony at E3, the presentation was very much arrogant. Like, oh, we're gonna make it look like, you know, the game. Let's move venues to show off Ghost of Tsushima and make it like. Apparently, in between, they had like a whole theme stage up thing too as they were walking through. So yeah, Sony's arrogant. They don't care.
No. Yeah, and I mean, listen, just not my cup of tea. But there was some awesome things shown at that press conference, and one of them I'm gonna get into, and it starts a new segment. Sean?
No way, a brand new segment that's never happens.
I know. It's like I announce them every now and again, but when they're there. You know what I'm saying? It's called Yay or Nay. Listen, I'm not good at titles, but sometimes I get them right, sometimes I get them wrong. There was a couple of games that got release dates and new trailers, and it got some people hyped, some people really pumped. I want to know what you guys think of them. Brief synopsis, a Twitter post, 140 characters or less. I know they upped it to 280, but fine, 280 characters or less. One GIF or GIF, however you pronounce it. And then
Ubisoft.
Tell me if you're going to buy it day one or not. So first, I'm going to start with Devil May Cry because it showed off on the Xbox conference, or the Xbox show, and they showed a new trailer. They showed Dante. They showed Nero, and those are characters I should know. And it's coming out March 8th for the PlayStation 4, PC, and the Xbox One X. So I'm going to start with you, Sean. Are you going to get this game day one or at all? Let me know.
Let me say, okay, 280 characters. Yay, but I also will have 2 kids at that point. So probably, I really stoked about it. It looks awesome. You're counting my characters?
Yeah.
I think it looks awesome, man. It makes me want to go back and squeeze in as much Devil May Cry between now and then as well. That's what this, I'll say that about this showing at the Xbox stage. I didn't know we were doing an Xbox show tonight. This is awesome, though. I'm in my home. I'm in my home.
You know what? We're cross podcast playing right now.
I like it.
You should. Yeah, I mean,
that's what really confused me. Yeah, I understand.
So with that, okay, so you're on board, but you're gonna have 2 kids. So that's a negative. Kyle, what about you? What about Devil May Cry 5, March 8th?
Yeah, I'm all in. That's EA for me. It reminds me of the old school Devil May Cry where it's crazy and it's chaos. Yeah. I believe Nero at one point split apart his motorcycle, was hitting people with it like swords. Like, that's what I want. I want the craziness of Devil May Cry and the action and the combos and the goofy story. Yeah, I'm all in.
Yeah, for me, I've played the reboot and I thought that was fine. And I know a lot of people are like, all right, now I'm clicking out. Please stay here. Trust me. Watching this trailer, watching the enthusiasm from the creator on the E3 stage has really made me want to go back and try these games. I know, do they have remasters on the PlayStation 4, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna try them out, maybe sometime in the winter, and just get acquainted with it, because this is a game I really want to buy day one, but I'm gonna have to hit a nay on this just because we got Anthem February 22nd, Days Gone February 22nd, The Division mid-October, mid-March, and then we're gonna have Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. that launches March 22nd from Software, and Hideki Miyazaki, the creator
Nailed it.
of, yeah, thank you, Demon Souls, the creator of Dark Souls, the creator of Bloodborne, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Nay or yay, Kyle?
You're gonna get mad at me again. It's gonna be a nay for me.
What?
It's not my type of game. I'm not a Souls player. I'm not. I have Bloodborne. I played maybe a half an hour of it. It's not my thing. And I mean, it looks cool. The art style. I like the jumping. But yeah, it's not for me.
Say that to the little Bloodborne hunter.
I'll say it again.
Say
It's
it
not
again.
for me, little Bloodborne hunter.
Sit to my face.
Sorry.
Oh no, Bloodborne hunter, what are you doing? He's real sad. He's real upset about that.
It's fine.
John, is this your name? Or
Yes. As soon as possible, yes. Come on. I can't wait to play
got
this.
some feelings for Bloodborne.
I love my Bloodborne. I love Bloodborne more than Dark Souls, as I think many people do. So I'm stoked. Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, no, for me, Bloodborne is the game of the generation. That's not even an opinion. That's a fact.
Is it?
Breath of the
Okay.
What? Bloodborne.
You measured it.
The Witcher, what? Bloodborne. You know, God of what? Boy.
Joshua,
Bloodborne.
what? Bloodborne.
Exactly. So for me, you want to know how fast I pre-ordered the collector's edition that you can get right now? Pre-order it. It's a GameStop exclusive for $89.99 here in the States and for like $1 million in Canada.
Yeah.
You want to know how fast I pre-ordered it?
I don't know.
Okay. Well then,
Quickly,
I
very
got
quick,
off work.
very quickly.
I got off work. I drove right to GameStop, and I was like, collector's edition, Shadows Die Twice. Give this to me right now. And then they're like, we can't. The computer won't let you take your money. Come back tomorrow. So I came back first thing, not first thing. That's a lie. I was gonna fill up Muse in that. The second thing I did the other day was right before we recorded. I went to GameStop and I pre-ordered that game, and I was the first one to pre-order Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I know I'm butchering the name. Listen, yell at me. I don't care. So I don't like to brag, but I already got the collector's edition. Grouchy Surge is proud because we're still Book Brothers, and I'm real excited. This is such a yay for me.
I'm
And
just
last
happy
but not
that
least-
you guys are happy.
Thank you. You know what? Little Bloodborne Hunter, he's happy to hear that.
He's smiling. Did you do this thing? I didn't. So Bloodborne was. I actually played Bloodborne before Dark Souls. So maybe that's why I like it more. I spent a crazy amount of time customizing my character, and then like they just like wrap him up with clothes and slaughter him with blood and everything. I was like, that was not worth my time at all. Like, why did you let me customize my character?
Yeah, I tried to make my guy look as much like the guy on the box as I could. So I made him very slender because I thought the armor looked better that way. But man, God, do I love that game so much. Oh, and I saw the gameplay of it too. It looks insane. Like they've added stealth elements, so now you can easily one-shot people if you're just smart and you're patient. And like the hook shot assassinations, it's insane, man. Like this is my hype. I'm at a fucking 15 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh.
Like, I am ready. And talk about some nerds who are really excited. Shenmue 3 also got a release date, August 28th, 2019. Will it get delayed again? And nay or yay on this one, guys? I'm going to start with you, Sean.
Can I make more fart noises for you?
I'll join in.
Okay, all right. Holy crap.
Not even
Seriously.
Indeed.
Figuratively. All right, this is a nay for both?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I couldn't care less. Or as Bobby would say, I could care less, I guess.
Yeah, and it will definitely get delayed again.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anywhere close.
I enjoy the enthusiasm that Shenmue fans have.
Sure.
And just like you stated earlier, if you're excited, I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you're excited. The remaster came out, and I'm glad you guys are excited about it. I remember my one friend, he sat me down. He's like, this is Shenmue 2. This is one of the greatest games ever made. And then I sat and watched for 3 hours. Fake enthusiasm. I'm like, yeah, this is great.
He probably
It
thinks
wasn't
Avatar
great,
is a
guys.
really great movie as well.
God,
Because it's
yeah,
not.
probably.
Because it's not. Just in
not,
case I'm
it's
not
not.
clear, it's not. It's
It's
garbage.
Pocahontas. It's
It took me a
Pocahontas.
second of which Avatar you were.
Yeah.
talking about.
Dancing with Smurfs.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Which Avatar? The blue goats? That's Pocahontas or M. Night Shyamalan?
No, the first one. The Dancing with Smurf wolves.
Yeah,
Pocahontas.
I didn't like it.
I will say though about Shenmue, that was like one of the best moments at a PlayStation E3 show is when the Kickstarter thing goes announced. It's the same year where the FF7 remake was announced and Last Guardian was showed off. And the couple people in the crowd like would get up and like it looked like they were about to cry. Like that was such a great conference, and Shenmue was a big part of it. But I'm
no,
happy
seriously,
for you guys, I guess.
Yes, I'm happy for you guys. Go play that remaster, have fun. But I just can't get into it. Hey, and speaking of games that will never come out, Kyle.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna fucking Thanos the shit out of this, right? I'm sorry, you guys should have watched this movie. I killed the Vita once, brought it back, and just to kill it again. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, right? Did I say it? Oh, yes, I did. Delayed until 2019, and the PS Vita version canceled. This comes from Polygon, and this comes from a 505 publishing PR representative. He says, "We're sorry to make you wait a little longer for Bloodstained, but I can trust that. But you can trust that this is really in the best interest of the game and our players." Added Roberto Piniaro. Oh, I think
Nailed it.
Global manager of publisher at 505 Games. He then goes on to state, "We are assuring you guys that we are using the extra time to make Bloodstained even better based on your input." Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Kyle, bear for it. Okay?
I'm not ready.
It's coming out on PlayStation 4. Praise be the shit. Coming out on Windows PC if you're a dork. Nintendo Switch. All right. You guys get a pass. Xbox One. And Mac and Linux.
Insane.
How does Linux get a pass but the Vita doesn't?
Makes sense, man. They're just going after all the viable platforms. I get it. I understand. I'm kidding.
No.
Look, Joe. Look, guys. This is the thing that Nintendo fans had to face when the Wii U was coming down to its end of life, and there was a lot of Kickstarters, especially, who just kind of went, "No, we're not going to do that." So now you get a little taste of that. And I'm sure all the Sony fans are going like, "Oh, the Wii U, what a piece of garbage! It wasn't good from the start, and look at all these people abandoning it." Ha ha ha. So I mean, it happens to all of us. We all pass on to the next life, you know.
This was the last Vita game I was super excited for.
Yeah.
Not that like I'm gonna get it from PS4 anyway, but like I was excited to play it on my Vita, and the fact that it's canceled, it hurts. The delay isn't that bad because I actually played it at New York Comic Con last year, and it was super pretty. It plays well. It reminds me of Symphony of the Night, which is awesome. But it still had like I was playing on a PS4 controller, but it had like Microsoft prompts on the screen and everything.
Awesome.
Menus didn't really work all that well, so the delay is fine.
Yeah.
But and a Linux instead of Vita, that's
it's a rough one. That one's a rough pill. Like you didn't have to remind us, Polygon, that Linux is getting this version of Vita.
It could have just been like Vita version canceled and just not even mention the Linux.
No. So here's a little segment we like to call Flash News, just like the Flash sales on PlayStation. Look at this is quick little news for you guys. There are new controllers coming out at the end of the month, so you could check them out. We got a berry blue controller, which looks pretty freaking rad. We got a copper controller, which is pretty freaking rad. A blue camo controller, and then the orange controller that we're calling the Mets colors. Kyle, are you interested in any of these controllers, or you gonna pick one up?
Absolutely. Obviously the Mets won.
Yeah.
The Sunset Orange. It looks dope. It's something. Again, Sean's on the show, so I'll say it while he's here. I'm super jealous of the Xbox Design Lab thing.
Heck
where you
yeah!
can put your own controllers. I feel like Sony would make a killing if they did that for their DualShock 4s. And like this is pretty cool, but I still want that customization option where I can just make it my own colors and stuff.
All right, enough giving Xbox credit for things. I'm sick of
Joe,
it.
this needs to be given credit to.
Nah,
it's an easy thing and easy money for Sony. I don't understand.
I don't understand too. I really don't. But I think these colors are nice. Don't get me wrong. But I would like a what is it? Design Labs.
Design Labs.
Maybe a less ugly camo controller. I was really. Can I say that was one thing I did laugh about at Gamescom? A lot of people freaked out about the new custom controllers. I'm like, guys, settle down. It's like we when we recorded last episode to get one of those controllers and just to do some things to it, it's like $100. It's nuts. It's really
I
expensive.
think it's like, isn't it like $80? I think it's like 80. If you get the engraving on it, then it pushes it over to the $100. I don't know. Your American dollars confuse me, so I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I
there.
think
Sean.
the fake one that we tried to design last night while we were recording, Joe got it up like over $100.
I did, and then I wrote Xbox sucks. So you send me your address, Sean. I'll give you the ugliest looking controller I could ever think of.
That's the thing, though. The Xbox is a critical error for them. Is that now that I have an X, I would buy another Elite if they had design labs for it. I would want another one of these things, but I can't justify exactly. It is a bit. It's more than a regular controller because it's custom. But why would I get one of those when I've gotten used to this? The greatest controller ever built in the history of mankind is this guy right here.
Yeah, I'm very listen. I'm not here to be delusional. Sometimes I like to just to poke fun at Antonio Guillen in the chat, right? But yeah, no, the Xbox One Elite controller. Where do I have mine? Is it in the case? Oh, it is. It's the best controller ever made, just because of the paddles in the back. That's why I'm getting the Scruff PlayStation 4 Vantage, I think it's called, controller. It's literally the same version of the Elite controller. The Elite controller actually uses a few patents from Scruff to actually do the paddles in the back.
Interesting.
So, yeah, it's the closest thing to an Elite controller we're gonna get, and it looks freaking rad. But yeah, no, seriously, the Elite controller, PlayStation needs this. And it's something that the community has been so vocal on, is that the Elite controller, it is a game changer, man. Like, I love it. It's seriously amazing. But with that, here's some less amazing news. Spyro Reignited Trilogy is delayed until November. This comes from Polygon. Again, let me get the quote here. This comes from everyone at Toys for Bob, which is weird names for these developers. All right, knock it off. This is your job. Be proud. Everyone here at Toys for Bob is proud. Oh, they are proud to be reignited. Oh, I see the pun. For the original Spyro trilogy after all these years. We're deeply committed to getting these games right, so we've decided to move the release date for Spyro Reignited Trilogy to November 13th. I really hope that you would be rescuing dragons and scorching Rhinox sooner, but the trilogy needs more love and care. In November, you'll be exploring the Dragon Realms of Avalar and the Forgotten Worlds. We know you'll get extra time. It was worth it. I almost got it until the very end. So the game was coming out, September 24th or 25th, right?
Yeah.
It's got delayed. It got pushed back to a month and change. Rumor has it, and this comes from a YouTuber called Young Yeah, which he's fantastic. Go look at his channel. It's amazing. He had sources saying that the game was just not up to snuff, that Activision wanted to make sure that they could get all 3 games on the disc. So hopefully on November 13th, we'll make sure that the whole entire trilogy is on the disc and you don't need a constant online connection, because there was a whole lot of outrage about that. So with that, Kyle, what are your thoughts on this? Is this to maybe, September is such a huge month for games. You got Spider-Man already. Is it better that Spyro kind of sits a month after and kind of has time to breathe? What do you think?
Absolutely. I think this is fine for me as a consumer and major buyer of like all the games coming out this fall. Yeah, this makes sense to me. I'm appreciative of the fact that they want all the games on the disc instead of just having the first one and then the 2 you have to download and it has to always be online, whatever. So yeah, I'm fine with them putting more work into it, because a delay is always a good thing if the game's going to be better for it.
Sure.
So and I feel like November, like that's the perfect game I'll play during Thanksgiving recess. Like,
That's true.
when I'm home, I'll just be playing with my nieces. Like, it's perfect.
Oh, it's true. It's better that way. Yeah, I think so. Sean, what about you?
I think
Were
this
you
is
gonna get this game in the beginning?
not
Like,
even a
the
little bit.
beginning?
I almost fell asleep talking about Spyro. I'm sorry, guys. I think Spyro's god awful. I think it's so bad. I think, but from an objective and from a commentator standpoint, I think it's a bad release date. I don't know why you wouldn't just completely copy Crash, which came out in June of last year.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect spot for that game and that type of game. Putting this in November is wanting it to explode into smithereens before your eyes. This is really ill-advised, in my opinion.
Well, why do you think that though? Because like, there's no big games. I mean, Red Dead has come and gone at that point.
Yeah, no, I think that Red Dead is like a nuclear bomb going off across all of, like, they are some of the biggest games happening, and like regardless of how many weeks after Battlefield or Call of Duty or Spider-Man or any of these things, June was the time for the remaster. I don't think that this is the time for this, but maybe I'm wrong. But I am calling it right now. I don't think that this sells as well as Crash, not even close. And I think a lot of it has to do with the release date, man. It's no good.
I think it's perfect with you get all your bro shooters and
Yeah.
mature games. It's a perfect kid game going into the holiday season. I think it's going to sell well. It's going to be a lot of kids' Christmas lists.
Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens, and whoever is wrong will just die.
Whoa, Sean.
Shit.
Holy all right, well, you guys got to fight
You're
to
gonna
the
Thanos
death.
that. Half of us are gonna, yep, dead.
Yeah. All right, Sean, here you're going to get real happy about this. The Dark Pictures Anthology series announced by Supermassive Games and Bandai Namco, the first game being Man of Medan. The Dark Pictures Anthology is a series of standalone cinematic branching horror games. The first in the series will be called Man of Medan, launching in 2019. This is from Pete Samuel, CEO and executive producer of Supermassive Games. Also, the story comes with the PlayStation blog. And now with that, because these are the guys, the creators of Until Dawn, it's horror and it's real spooky. So let me get my real creepy voice in here.
Oh
You ready?
no,
This
Yeah,
is
you
not
ready?
good, Sean. Have you heard this
I
yet?
have. I might have to take off my headphones though. Oh no.
Goody. Here at Supermassive Games, we're very passionate to deliver powerful cinematic
Still hear it.
stories. We're following from the titles like Until Dawn, The Impatient, by telling you horror stories. Yes, that's what they are. That we expect fans will want to play. Yes, playthings. Each game in the series will feature a brand new story, setting, characters.
Oh no.
The anthology format gives us an opportunity to tap into the variety of horror subgenres.
Watching his
We've
face is even worse.
we identified 39 that we would love to represent an anthology, but that will take some time.
I just heard. I all I could hear was the giggle through my headphones, and they just. Oh, it creeped me out.
Yes. Are you in your car right now, Sean Capri? Do
No,
you hear a breath behind your neck?
Oh, kinda.
Yes, turn around.
No,
What do you
I
see?
can't. I can't.
It's me, Sean Capri. So yeah, Bandai Namco, along with Massive Games, have come out stating that they have 39 stories, and I believe from what I read, they want 2 stories every single year. So they have a long branching path to go on. What's your hype level for this, Sean? Because this is going to be Supermassive's way of branching out to other platforms. So this is going to be on PC. This is going to be on Xbox One. How do you feel about them branching out?
Well deserved, man. I think that
Yeah.
like they were relatively unknown prior to Until Dawn, and it was obviously a huge hit. And it blurred my imagination. Like, am I supposed to be or allowed to be attracted to these characters? Like, they're pretty much the same as like real life. So So with all that joking aside, and with all that joking out of the way, Joe, I'm stoked, man. I just feel like it's like with them able to expand beyond the scope of what we saw with Until Dawn and do this sort of like episodic or like just totally different. I just want to see like what other crazy things are going on in their brains. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch the making of Until Dawn. Like it was actually on the game. There's videos and everything, and so they had.
No, I didn't watch that.
It's amazing. You should Animation Agent. You should definitely check it out. They talked about like the pacing of the scares, and so like they had like timers, and they also had people like hooked up to heart monitors and things, so they could actually quantify the ramping up of suspense. So you'd be calm, and then they would have it like perfectly timed so that you had a nice scare, and then you're calm again, and just when you think you're safe, you get another scare. And they were able to like watch the way that people were experiencing the game and cater it to the maximum thrill ride. You know what I mean? So it's good, man. So I can't wait to see. I think they're smarter than people are even giving them credit for. All the different permutations and combinations of endings that you could get in Until Dawn. I wonder if that's going to happen over here. So kudos to those guys. It obviously was a big success. I don't see this as like a, well, PlayStation wasn't good enough for us, so we better go to the others. I actually see it as the other way around, where it was such a great success that they were able to provide or put in the development time and focus to get it across all these different systems and platforms.
Yeah, I think it's also Bandai Namco's way of getting more Western influence in their portfolio as
Isn't
well.
that
So
interesting?
I think it makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Kyle, I got a different question for you. You know that old saying, forgive and forget? She never forgives, he never forgets. What's going to be the fate of Supermassive Games?
Oh man, I think this is a great step in the right direction, because the last couple of games they've put out have not been great as far as I'm concerned. We both suffered through that Bravo Team VR game.
That was real bad.
Real bad. Probably
That was the worst
VR
game
experience I've had.
Yeah, not just the worst VR game, but I'm going to be completely blunt. That was the worst game I've played since Mighty Number 9. I'll say that. And Mighty Number 9, it looks like Game of the Year compared to that game. And I know that sounds mean because people worked on it, but man, that was bad. Like, it made me sick. Oof.
I haven't played the Inpatient yet, but I've heard from people who have. Wasn't up to snuff. But I love the fact that they are like, we have 39 different stories we want to tell. It's in the vein of Until Dawn. The trailer looks awesome. It's like based around a ghost ship, which is super cool. I just feel like this is like a video game version of Goosebump books back in the day, where we're gonna get brand new stories all the time. It's like an adult Telltale version, like more interactive in my eyes. It's really cool. I'm excited.
Okay. So in other words, they will be spared, is what you're saying.
Can we move on, please?
We don't really know what to do with that, Joe. We don't.
Yes, next story. Life is Strange 2 trailer reveals its protagonist, brothers Sean
Jason
and Daniel. This comes from Twinfinite, and I'm gonna pull the quote out here. It seems that Life is Strange 2 will focus on the neighbor boy from the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit, Sean, and Daniel. It isn't clear what exactly happened in the scene with the police officer. Watch the trailer. Come on, do it. But it seems like one of the brothers possesses some kind of telekinetic power. And now the two are on the run to Mexico. Good luck, because we have a giant wall. And guess what? Those two brothers will be paying for it. You'll play as Sean, the older brother of the two, who's trying to protect his younger brother, Daniel, while also teaching him the important life lessons. So, I got a question here. The fan base seemed a little bit divided over that there's no more Max and Chloe, that they're focusing on two different characters. I'm going to go with you, Kyle. Have you played Life is Strange? And what do you feel about them branching off from their stories and doing something different?
I haven't. It's one of my my shame piles in gaming. I know he's back. I'm sorry, Bloodborne Hunter. You know, it's on my list. I'm fine with it branching out with new characters.
Yeah,
I just think that's how universes grow and get better. I'm fine with it.
All right. What about you, Sean?
Same here, man. Let's bring it on. Let's go. Woo.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the outrage was all about, but I'm down for it. You know, again, it's gonna hit cues with me because I'm the younger brother. My brother's of course the older brother. We have a close bond, so this shit's gonna make me cry. I don't need glasses to see where that's going. This is gonna make me cry something fierce. But hopefully they don't get put into cages. Bam, that's a real life reference. And that's real depressing.
Dark.
PSVR hits 3 million units sold through July 2018. 22 million VR games and experiences have been sold as well. This comes from Engadget. Sony has announced that it has sold 3 million PS VR headsets as of the end of July, showing that its popularity has declined a little bit since fall 2016's launch. At the end of 2017, Sony had sold 2 million units, meaning that it has sold another million in just 8 months. On top of that, it has shipped 21.9 million VR games and experience, and it's an impressive figure considering some of the negative press surrounding virtual reality as of late. Kyle,
yeah,
you own a VR headset?
I do.
I own a VR headset. What do you make of this news? 3 million units.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
It still has a long way to go in terms of getting it in people's homes, especially compared to with how many consoles are out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very small number, which is weird to say because it's still in the millions of units.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think a lot of people are probably going to get some more with these games that are coming out in the next couple months, like Tetris Effect. We got the Ghost Giant.
Oh my god.
Beat Saber. Beat Saber is probably going to push a lot of units whenever that comes around.
Yeah, that's the reason why the VR headset is closet, just like my skeleton. Because, I mean, we'll edit that part out in post.
No.
But yeah, like those 3 games, I am pumped for, especially
Absolutely.
Ghost Giant. In Tetris Effect, I still can't get that trailer song out of my head. What about you, Sean? Do you own a VR headset? And are you even? I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I'll tell you, man. I will tell. I can't wait to tell you my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
First of all, I think the sales that they're showing, the 3 million, I think a large, and especially the ones that you referenced within the last few months, there have been significant discounts that have absolutely caught my attention. And I think a lot of people around, and there was also that Target thing that happened. That was at least 500,000 units that people bought. Do you remember that Target thing where you could you can compound your discount codes and things like that?
Oh, yeah.
But that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is that the price coming down is massive, because for me there was like 2 dings against it. There was the price and then the cables. The cables are a disaster, and it is actually a huge reason why I ended up going to Xbox as my preferred platform of choice, because I could plug in. I don't want to plug everything into the front of my PlayStation. I want to have everything in the back and hidden by everything, so I don't have
you want all the
rear-facing
junk
USB.
in the trunk.
I want to put my junk in the trunk. Yes, if you guys wouldn't mind, gently just place it in there.
Text your wife that.
Yeah, I'm sure. That'll go over well. Okay, so low price and the game that I agree, Beat Saber. I didn't know that it wasn't out. I'm seeing a lot of gameplay as if it was out, but the game that I am so stoked about is Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown, and I saw just another trailer, and that's the go-to game for me, man. Like, personally, I don't even really have a great affinity to combat or flight combat games or flying or anything, but I've always wanted to fly in a jet, and there are few experiences in gaming's left where I'm like, I've never experienced that before, or I've wanted to do this in real life, so I'll do this in a video game instead, because it's the closest that I'll ever get. And I feel like VR, put me in a cockpit in VR, and I'll be happy in your cockpit.
There's actually a really cool Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. It's like a Jackal Assault, little mini VR experience, and it's pretty cool. It's nice being in, like you said, in a jet cockpit and shooting down enemy planes. It's a cool feeling.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, it looks great too, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Kyle, when that comes out, my goose.
I'm sorry, say that again.
When the game comes out, you want to be my goose? Top Gun reference?
Don't do it. Absolutely. Don't do it. No, say no. Say no. Goose dies. Kyle, come on.
In the middle.
Please. This is role reversal.
Yeah.
Joe's going to die, and I'll take on
What the fuck?
Oh, no. Bizarro World.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, didn't know that's how the way I was going to go out. I thought it was always going to be with a belt around my neck and my pants to my knees. Anyway. Listen, you guys said I put it out on Twitter, right? Do you guys want me to be uncensored, or do you want the show to be censored? 81% of you guys said uncensored. So this is what everything you get is yours. All right? I want to hear it. I want to hear complaints about it. Overwatch and Lego are teasing something pretty awesome. This comes from Twinfinite. What? This is me fucking up. They show a map of Hanamura and then they showed outlines of characters of Overwatch. So I think we saw a McCree. I think we saw not a Diva, a Tracer as well. What Overwatch characters do you think will be part of this Lego crossover? What extent will this crossover be? Meaning, will there be some type of Lego in-game cosmetic? Will there be some type of Bionicle type figurine? What is your one character that you want to see get Lego-fied? So I'm going to start with you, Sean, because I know you.
I only know Mercy though. I don't know any of the other characters. What about the big one? What's the Bastion? I'll take a Bastion as well. Any of the robots, any of the big ones. I want all the tanks. Those would be the best.
All right, Kyle, you. What do you want?
I think it'd be cool to have a Roadhog.
Oh, Roadhog too. Also Roadhog.
Lego, or a Junkrat would be cool.
Oh,
or
Junkrat for sure.
The new hamster dude? What's his name?
Hammond.
Hammond, yeah. That'd be pretty fun.
Actually, Hammond would be pretty freaking cool because you get to transform him and stuff. And the orb, I think, would make a lot of sense. To me, I hope these are like Lego sets that we get to build. I would hate to see them. You guys remember Bionicle? People in the chat, you remember Bionicle? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want that. Please don't. The face is going to look weird. Give me Legos. Give me Zenzuzu, Zenyatta in there. Give me Tracer. Give me Reaper. Give me all my mains, and I'm a happy little boy.
Same.
But
you know what'd be great though? The opportunity here is for skins. Is for you to get like your main dude and then just like swap out Lego parts that like cover up or like kind of go as a shell. That's where the money is at, everybody.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
Mix
Hey, Sean,
and match.
you want to hear a joke?
Yeah, I guess I don't really have a choice.
No, you don't.
Yes.
Halo Mega Blocks.
Uh-huh.
Is
that it? Is that the joke? Yeah.
Sweet, you guys couldn't even get Legos. You guys couldn't get Legos. Now, if I was you, what is one character that's going to get Lego-fied out of the PlayStation lineup of characters?
Oh, man.
Let's start with you, Sean.
No, I'm going to play my Legos.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Play with your little... tell me how Lego Dimensions is doing while you're at it. Kyle, what is one PlayStation character you'd like to see Lego fight? If you were Shu, of course, Shu doesn't just run the first party over there at Sony. He runs Sony. He's the shadow government. He is the shadow government. So if I was Shu, he also runs Lego. What type of partnership would we reach?
I have an exclusive answer, a PlayStation exclusive answer, and a non-exclusive answer.
Okay.
Wow, the A-team.
Ignore me. I'm just doing this for the chance.
I think a Last of Us Lego set would be awesome. Get some clickers in there, some rundown cars, an environment scene. That'd be awesome. And then like I would love a BioShock Lego set.
Oh my God, BioShock
maybe like with
would
Songbird,
be awesome.
or like the
Big Daddy.
Yeah, or I can't think of the lighthouses.
Yes,
that'd be cool.
Oh my God, Sean, what are you doing?
I'm having fun with my Lego.
Is it Legos or Lego? Is it
Lego my ego, man?
If I was you, I would do God of War, okay, Kratos, and Boy, and they're sitting in a therapist's office.
Big old couch.
Yeah. You never talk to me, Dad. You know. You don't love me as much as you love that axe.
Is Mimir the therapist just sitting on the chair?
Yeah, he's just a head popped up on a love seat. That would be great. If I could choose one other character that would get Lego-fied, here, I'll give this one to Sean. I'd let Halo get Lego treatment because Mega Bloks is fucking lame. So with that, we'll move on to the
Mega
next
Bloks.
one.
You can't choke on them. All right, so there.
Is that real?
I don't know. I made it up. I imagine them that they're larger and they're probably safer for young children. So there.
I don't think that's how it works.
I think it might be.
But okay, Ubisoft will not release the Assassin's Creed game. This is our last topic of the night, guys. All right, strap in for a wild one. This too comes from Twinfinite, and this is Yves Demon. Bigot. That's his real full name. It's just because the team were working on separately. So we were, and this is an interview. This is a voice interview. These things never go right. They don't sound right when you read them on paper. It's weird. So we have two games now, 1 year after the other. But next year, you are not going to have a fully fledged one, said Gaumont. Bigot. When asked the reason for the break. Essentially, 2017's Origins and Odyssey were being worked on at the same exact time, allowing them to be released in subsequent years. He also confirmed that the focus on Odyssey in 2019 rather than a spin-off or a remaster, saying, "What you have is lots of content coming, and on Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the team really want to give, oh yeah, on a regular basis. Oh yeah, you're gonna give it to us on a regular some new possibilities for play. When you get Odyssey this year, you're going to get in for a couple of years, actually. Oh, a couple of years. Jeez. Ooh, don't flatter me. With that, guys, I want to know what your hype level is on Odyssey. Are you excited for this game? And what do you think is going to come out next year? You think it's going to be Watch Dogs Trace? Sean, what about you? What are your thoughts?
I'm glad you said Watch Dogs because I wouldn't have thought of that actually. So yes, I will agree with that. I would love to see some more Watch Dogs. I think Assassin's Creed, as I was talking on the Xbox Drive earlier today, people should have taken a. If they hadn't taken a break, I'm trying to. Maybe I'll answer like this, where I'm not actually listening to you or all the like the and ha and all the weird noises that you're making.
I'm sorry.
Assassin's Creed is now in my opinion, in the top tier echelon of games, and it's unfortunately like pulled down by the weight and baggage of all the older Assassin's Creed games and all of the experiences that other people have had with that series. They attach all of that to Origins, and I assume they'll attach the same thing to Odyssey. So I'm hoping that they're kind of able to nail these two down, and people can kind of like acknowledge and identify them as A+, like 9s and 9.5s out of 10. And then they can take a break, and then people will be yearning for that style instead of like them slamming the same thing down our faces over the last 10 years. What are we on, like Assassin's Creed 27, if they were still numbering them? So I'm just kind of hoping that my hope and dream for this series is that they can have these two, and it reestablishes what the original vision I think was for it to be a top tier game. It sold like crazy, but it was never really revered in the way that I think it can be now.
Okay, before we go over to Kyle and what chat, the next portion is questions. So if you guys have any questions for us about anything PlayStation related, and no Madden, Coach Hulk, okay? Stop it, knock it off. Let us know in the chat. We'll get to them right after this. Kyle, what are your thoughts on Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Where's your hype level? Where do you think they're going to go next year?
Hype level is actually pretty high. I feel like with Odyssey, it's the first time in the series where you kind of have some control over the character. Having to pick between a female and male lead. Excuse me.
Oh no, Kyle!
Sorry, I'm battling the sickness.
He's getting goosed. He's getting goosed, guys.
Yeah, no, picking between a male and female lead is awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna go female assassin because that's just the way I play games.
Of course.
I think it's great. I think they're doing the dialogue options in Assassin's Creed is cool. I do agree that I think next year they need to take the year off. I don't know what that big game would be, but I'm with you, Sean. I think Assassin's Creed franchise as a whole is up there. It's in the upper tier, and it deserves the praise it gets because they're super polished games, tons to do.
Yeah.
The worlds are awesome. The lore in it is crazy. Yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Yeah, my hype level for Odyssey is kind of the same where Origins was last year. I'll get to it when I get to it. I think my problem with Odyssey I'm sorry, 2 O's. It's gonna confuse me. What Origins had for me was the targeting was way too sticky, and it was really fucking me up. So I really hope Odyssey fixes the sticky targeting where it would target the nearest person rather than the person you're actually looking at or want to, hit. So I hope Odyssey changes those things. I like the fact that you get to play as a man or a lady. But I think this is a game that I'll probably get during Black Friday. I'm going to be holding off on a lot of games on Black Friday. So I think that this is one of them, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. I think this is awesome. I would love to see them now do the same thing they did with Assassin's Creed, implement that to Watch Dogs, because I think Watch Dogs 2 was a great reboot. Now take what you kind of learned from the Assassin's Creed reboot with Origins and implement that into Watch Dogs 3, because I really loved Watch Dogs 2. And I just feel like in the story department, it kind of lacked a little bit. So that's what I think. I don't know. Just me, though. I'm just a boy.
Do you think Beyond Good and Evil is ready by next year?
Absolutely not. That
No.
that game's
Yeah,
game's
you're
an
right. As soon
Xbox.
as I said that, that was silly.
no, Sean.
That was silly. It was silly. They're
No.
still getting Joseph Gordon-Levitt to like compose music for her or something.
Yeah.
No, listen, that man's very beautiful.
I know.
To ask Antonio Guillen, ask the Nintendo Village.
He's on Chelsea's freebie list.
Oh, really? Is that
Yeah, Tom Hardy, JGL.
okay? Who's on your freebie list? Can we get a?
I don't know. Same. Tom Hardy and JGL. I can't blame her, man. Come on.
All right.
And,
No, I get it.
and my little Bobby pin, of course. Bobby the
Big
Nintendo
time.
Guru. I don't know if you've heard about this. Bobby the
Oh.
Nintendo Guru is we're now calling him my little Bobby pin. So spread the word.
I listened to every If We Ran Nintendo. When the hell did I?
That was on Friday. He's my little Bobby pin. He's a cute little guy.
He is adorable, old man. He's kind of like a toadstool. He's a very short man. When
Yeah,
you meet him
that's
in
what
real
I
life,
said. Actually, that's what I said about Paddy Wagon, Nintendo Talk. The hat is attached.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
With that, our first question comes from. Oh my God, I'm honored. I'm not worthy.
Ooh.
Get some Joe After Switches in the chat. Get him in there. I don't know how you do it. Just do it. Joe After Work asks, do you think Sony continues the support of PlayStation VR into the next generation? I think so. I don't see why not. I think with better hardware, hopefully that boosts the power of VR. What do you think, Kyle?
I agree. I don't think they'll give up on it. I think they'll just improve on it. Hopefully get rid of those cables because I agree they're awful and all over the place. Yeah, just make better resolution, make it as affordable as this one is, and I think they're good.
Okay. What about you, Sean? What do you think?
I don't know, man. I don't trust them to continue support for anything. Although they did PSP and then into Vita, but PSP sold extraordinarily well, so I think they were expecting the Vita to do the same. Now that the Vita is what it is, they're probably walking away from that, and I have an odd feeling that like they're just not going to. But they have this weird line to toe at this point of they just have to give just enough. Because I think we are a little ways away. We may have jumped the gun on VR saying like now is the time. We may have been about 3 to 5 years early for it to become in every single home. And it's that weird thing of we need people to buy it to fund the next thing and to get into the next iteration. I'm reminded of like the Microsoft Surface. When it first came out, it was like, this is the iPad killer. And it came out, I was like, ooh, it's really expensive and people don't really love it. And it didn't sell like hotcakes, but Microsoft really kept at it and they kept iterating. And now it's becoming more of a line. I don't know how much leeway Sony has on this product line. I really just kind of hope that they're expecting for this to be a 10 to 15 year plan for them instead of, well, hopefully it works out this fiscal so that next fiscal we continue to support it. I'm not sure. That's a huge area of concern for me, just even jumping into that ecosystem of games of like, if once I buy, it's like buying a console. Like I'm dedicated to that library. I want to justify that big purchase with at least a couple of good games and good couple of experiences. So I don't know, man. I could see them go either way. But either way, I think they're the ones probably to do it. If Nintendo isn't going to be the ones to do it, which I actually have said elsewhere, I think Nintendo's the only ones who could make this ubiquitous and make it across the board because they have the franchises that you will jump over into a new medium to actually make it work. But they're off doing their
they
thing
have the
as well.
fan base that will do it too.
Yeah.
Nintendo fans are very dedicated to the hardware. They'll buy anything. They'll buy a Labo.
I think Nintendo's they're the type of company who could put out a VR game, a third-person type of VR game like Moss, and nobody would question like, why is this a VR game? People would just want to play it because they have that amazing way of merging software and hardware. And Sony, while they've really done a great job with their software and their first-party offerings, there's nothing specific about the hardware that they build that can only exist there. Nintendo, with their compression, they give the best quality games on small systems, and they're master coders. But I don't see that same like Apple type of relationship between hardware and software on Sony or even Xbox's side. And I think that's what is required for VR to go to the next level.
Yeah. I think, Joe, after work, first off, you do need to play Moss. It's amazing. Our last question, I'm going to give this the last one. And it comes to Dude427. What's up, dude? If you could trade any game franchise with Xbox or Nintendo, would you? And if you would, which game would it be? Okay, I thought very long and hard with this one. I think this one's very, very easy. because I could give up franchises that we don't use. It. We have so many franchises that are just dormant at PlayStation we don't use anymore. So a very lenient question here. I'm gonna give Sly Cooper for Gears of War, and now I never need to buy
No,
an
we're not making that
Xbox.
trade ever. No, God, what? No, decline. Definitely decline that.
What would you do, Sean, if you could, as an Xbox fan, if you could trade any franchise, active franchise, for an active Sony franchise,
Mhm.
what would it be and why?
Well, I think about there's a lot of games that happen on Xbox like they fall flat for whatever reason. They're like maybe they're super Japanese or too artsy or whatever it is. They just don't land with the Xbox audience. And I feel like Ori and the Blind Forest is we as Xbox fans we failed that game. That should be an absolutely destructive game. It should be like on everybody's system. It is one of the best games ever made. And Xbox fans are like, I mean, okay, like that's fine. You know, and I would.
To me, it kind of came and went. It was kind of was like
It's
we're here,
ridiculous.
and then
It's ridiculous. Everybody with an Xbox has got to play that game, especially ahead of. I mean, there's all these other Metroidvania games that people love, and they get a lot of attention. Ori and the Blind Forest is not even on that radar, and it absolutely should be. So I don't know, man. I feel like it's kind of like a dark horse in a way, where if we were to trade this in a somewhat legitimate way, you could almost like undervalue it and get something good. I don't know, man.
Okay.
Let me see. I love the Infamous games. I'm a huge fan of 1, 2, and Second Son and First Light. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'd do a little something like that.
Okay. Ori for the Infamous. What about you, Kyle? As a person who's never touched an Xbox game,
Yeah.
which one inspires you? Which one do you want to get? You're like, you know what? This looks good. I'll pick it off the tree. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Forza.
Ooh.
Gran Turismo is not exciting. Forza makes racing games look exciting and they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have a racing franchise like that on PlayStation.
Yeah.
The only thing is, like, what would I trade in return? That's a tough one. Man, because Xbox has shooters, so I was gonna say Killzone. You're not gonna do Killzone
Don't want
for
it.
Forza.
No. This is a
Uh,
fun game though, because we should play for each side. We should be like
You know
like
what?
franchise managers or GMs or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something a little blasphemous here. I feel like the story that it's told over the 5-6 games in the franchise is great, and I'm happy with it. Uncharted for Forza. I like the story that Naughty Dog has told with Uncharted.
I don't even know if I would take
love
that.
the way
I
it is.
honestly don't even know. That's a really tough one.
You wouldn't take that.
I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I think Uncharted is more important versus like the actual like fun of the gameplay. I think it's more important to the system than anything. So maybe for that reason, maybe. But Forza is endlessly fun, and it is so unexpected. But so is Uncharted. That's it. You know, I'm glad you said it in that way, because that's the way that I view Forza. Is like, this is representative of the console. It's one of the best games crafted in modern gaming, and I think that's how you feel the same about Uncharted. Many people revere Uncharted in the same way. So I like it. This is a fun game, Dude 427.
I know, right? Ooh. Hey, and Joe Afterwork has one more party game that you would make a Sony exclusive. What would it be? It would be Red Dead Redemption, because I could.
Ooh.
Just because I could. A little bit
Did
out
you
of
say
spite.
third-party game?
Third-party game, anyone I
I
wanted.
thought you said just a party game. It's like, okay.
Anyone I wanted.
A third party studio. I'm surprised I kind of put it in the chat earlier. They should have put a ring on Supermassive. They are so Sony. Like, Until Dawn was such a PlayStation game.
I don't think so, because the Impatient and Bravo team, man,
I think they got
were
potential.
winners. That's why I wasn't that disappointed when they
So
lost.
if I ran Xbox, I would rather Xbox take Supermassive than Compulsion. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
like with the fact that they did, I would have rathered that.
Yeah. With that, guys, that has been the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. But before we go, we have one major announcement.
Oh snap!
We are giving away not one, but 2 copies of Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. You have multiple ways of winning it. If you haven't followed us already on Twitter, Follow us at PS Trophy Room. There is a pinned tweet. You like that tweet. You share that tweet. You are entered to win a copy of Spider-Man for the PlayStation Quadruple. And then you go, Joe, that's crazy. How's another way? You said there's multiple ways. Well, don't rush me, okay? I'm getting to it. Don't rush me. The other way is that you rate us 5 stars on iTunes or any type of podcast that you can rate us on. Please rate us. You send a picture of that over to PS Trophy Room on Twitter. Follow us as well because that really helps us out. And you will get entered in. And then if you've already done that, if you've already reviewed, then all you have to do is take a picture of your review and send it to us on PS Trophy Room on Twitter, and you're automatically entered to win. So with that, Sean, get some plugs. What do you got to plug for us, Sean?
I would like to plug my Twitter, Sean Capri, Sean like Connery, Capri like the pants. My Twitch, twitch.tv/Sean Capri. And my Xbox show. If you guys like PlayStation, you might like Xbox. You might like to hate Xbox. That's cool. I do a podcast where I'm driving home from work with my good friend Luke Lore, the Insipid Ghost, the MLS Reserves. So listen to the Xbox Drive. We're also giving away 6 months of Game Pass over there. So similar. Rate us on iTunes. Share it. All the business. Send it to the Xbox Drive. Guys, and send me all your bits at twitch.tv/Sean Capri.
Yeah, there you go. And Kyle, anything you want to plug before you go?
Sure, I'll plug myself. Who Dat Ninja 73 on Twitter, on PSN.
Yeah.
My podcast all about the kind of funny community is Best Friends Talk Funny. You can find it everywhere podcasts are at, including Spotify. And you can follow that show on Twitter at BFS Talk Funny.
All right. Well, there you go. That's been the Trophy Room, guys. Everybody, thank you all for coming on such short notice. And with that said, and with all that out of the way, keep hunting and keep playing PlayStation.